What's up? H. Dizzle here, and you're listening to The Men's View. I'm here with my boy, Bonafide Hustler.
What's up? The Bonafide Hustler is here.
And we got sitting in, we got Woo. Also, we got sitting in this week, we got Dr. David Wilson, PhD. I love how that rolls off of my mouth. That dude threw watermelons in my front yard. What's up, Dr. David?
Hey, what's up, Dizzle? It's been a while.
It's nice to see you've grown past that throwing watermelons on my house thing.
I don't know about that.
You know what's funny? Like, you've gotten past it. I still haven't gotten past it.
I know. You never let it down.
I'll never let that. No, with your help, I've gotten a lot better. I think you and Bonafide have really helped me out with dealing with people, because you got me through a stage when, and I've been watching a lot of Mike Tyson stuff right now, because he's been in the news for what he did to that Canadian reporter, which we'll play later on in the show. But I've always connected with Mike Tyson because he became Mike Tyson because he's always said how the bullying when he was a kid was just so bad. It was the most horrible thing he's ever gone through, to where when he finally realized the only way he could stop bullying is by just beating the shit out of people.
So you're going to become black and built?
No, I'm
just going to hurt people.
He's going to get a facial tattoo.
What I'm saying is it still affects him to this day.
You're going to have pigeons in your backyard?
I'm going to develop a lisp when I talk.
We'll kick your ass.
Okay, welcome to The Men's View. This is Mike Tyson on the phone.
Hey, I'd watch that.
I would watch anything Mike Tyson.
Hey, man, when this shit gets huge, right? We could probably book that guy one day.
You know
Dude,
what? I
love that guy.
I fucking love Mike Tyson. I don't believe he raped anybody. That Mike Tyson's gonna be one of those guys. When it comes out in history one day, he's gonna be the greatest of all time. It's gonna come out what a smart, intelligent person Mike Tyson is. How well spoken he is. He's a genius if you listen to him talk. He puts together poetry and words that. How quickly he comes up with these words. These are not your regular English words. These are like higher level thinking kind of language.
But they're still English though, right?
Yeah, like he can put together a "fuck you, white boy" kind of insult like you wouldn't believe. If you listen to some of his old shit, it's incredible. If I can find some later in the show, I'll play it.
You know what's kind of crazy though is that when he becomes 80 and maybe with a walker, he could still fuck with you and probably still drop you. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, I'm noticing the last couple years, and it's kind of saddening to me because he's about to hit his 50s, and it's getting to the point where you can just tell, okay, this is an older guy,
Well, his body looks like it has that like melting effect, right? Like the Schwarzenegger thing,
Yeah. It's kind of sunken.
Yeah, it's like sunken.
Schwarzenegger came back from that.
He's coming back,
right?
though, I think.
He came back from that.
Have you seen some of his Twitter pics?
Yeah, he's doing
like his bicep is enormous, bro.
Really, but he's had like multiple open heart surgeries, so that affects your physique. Like,
absolutely,
I can just imagine the scar down the chest. I mean, they break open your whole chest in half. Your ribs and everything. It's like you're lying. How do you not bleed to death with that, doctor? Do you know anything about this?
I'm not a medical doctor.
Hey, fix his mic. Show him where to talk.
Talk right about here.
So they totally they
right in here.
put
Lower
you
it.
up.
There, lower it and talk right. That's better.
They slow down your heartbeat, right? And then they do blood like.
Is that what they do? Yeah, they put like ice or something around your heart, right,
no,
to stop it.
It's drugs.
Or something.
It's drugs. Yeah.
Yeah, I never understood that because if you're cracked open in half, aren't you just bleeding to death? I never understood that.
It's a little different than the operation game that you get from Milton Bradley.
Yeah, just make sure not to touch the sides. You get shocked.
No, but the reason I bring up Mike Tyson and the bullying thing is I realized just the other day I was looking through some of his videos of whenever he was a kid, talking about when he was a kid, whenever he was in prison, and the bullying affected that guy. And I was like, wow, a big, strong guy like that has beaten up so many people in his lifetime, and he's still harping back on, man, it was the most horrible thing he's ever been through was that bullying.
So kind of like what you do.
Right. It took me I tell you, about a year and a half ago, that's all that would go through my mind were these kids in my high school and middle school and elementary, the shit they did to me. And I would play it over and over again in my head, and I would hate these people. And then one day, Dr. Wilson was like, these guys have been out of your life all these years. And
35,
they don't even
still thinking about preschool people kicking his ass.
They don't know about you. They don't remember you. They probably don't remember any of these situations. Like, they're gone. Like, anything I do is not affecting them. They're not affecting me. Why am I still thinking about it?
Well, they are affecting you.
I mean, it's trauma.
They were. Yeah, but decided to put it all aside and just forget about it, except for one guy. You know who he is, Dr. Wilson.
Yes, I do.
We ever see that guy, or if I ever see him, he's
Maybe
in
we can
for it.
invite him onto the podcast and then like jump him.
He's
When the
before he
pod-
gets
Yeah,
here.
I thought about it. If
that'll
the
be-
podcast gets really big,
Yeah.
I'm going to bully him. I'm going to be calling him out. Hey, man, I'm looking for prospects are coming after you.
Whoa, hey, why
He's
don't you
a real
just-
short guy though.
Yeah, let's just say his name's Kevin. And Kevin, if you're fucking watching this podcast, I'm fucking just the whole reason I'm getting big in radio on the internet. I don't want to be big. I don't want the whole press. I don't want the fans. I don't want all these millions of listeners. I'm just doing it so I can fuck with you and bully you when my turn comes.
Aren't you just
This is so
perpetuating the
intense.
cycle, then, man? Like this is just gonna keep
Yeah,
going.
no joke.
That's actually called sublimation.
What, explain that. What is that?
It's like a person who goes through a trauma and they learn from the trauma, grow from it, and use it to do something empowering and good.
For betterment.
But that's not
Yes.
why he really started the podcast.
Well, let's
I
just
don't
say
know
it
He's
is
doing the
betterment.
podcast because it's like just built in his personality.
No,
and he
there's a
just likes
lot
these
in
kind
my
of stuff.
life that drives me because I'm the kind of person from the time I wake up till the time I'm fighting sleep because I don't want to sleep. I'm doing shit. And that's how I intend to live my life till the day I die or until the day I just can't move anymore. You know, I feel that gives you a longer life. It's more active. You're filling it with things. I mean, we only have at this point about 80 years. They say by the time we pass away, the human lifespan by 2050 will be 120 on average. That'll be the average lifespan.
That'd be cool.
But 80 years in the long expanse
long
of billions and billions of years and possibly
Oh.
a infinity worth of lifetimes,
Metalhead's calling.
80 years is nothing.
We're at 10:34.
Producer
by the
CMFK,
way.
man, we have gone over this. You got to ignore Metalhead when he calls because he has no idea of time. He's like a child. They say children,
It's guest time.
they don't understand time. But yeah, let's get our guest on the phone. Let's give him a call here. His name is Josh Elledge. We talked about him on the last show. This is my angel. He's actually Savings Angel.
Oh, is this the guy that if you didn't have him anywhere in Dallas, like you would have been aimlessly lost at that podcast thing?
Oh yeah.
I would have been. Yeah, it was when I went to the podcast conference. If you listen to the last show, basically we had a social time at the end of the night, and it was at House of
He
Blues.
saved you.
He didn't save me intentionally. What's up, Josh?
Hey, Dizzle, what's up?
Hey, nothing much, man. I'm glad to have you on. Like we were just before you got on, where I was just telling Bonafide and Dr. Wilson here that you were my angel at a podcast move in 2014. You probably didn't even realize it, right? You didn't.
No, I didn't have a clue. I'm like, it's just some guy. He's, likes to talk to me a lot. So whatever. we can go make the rounds, and certainly we had a lot to talk about. I mean, Men's View is just an incredible product. I mean, I was giddy when you showed me the video. The quality is just amazing. So, like, I'm a believer. I mean, you guys are going to be huge, absolutely huge. I mean, you're huge already, but it's only going up from here.
Yeah, I definitely hope so, man. But you didn't quite realize the mess I was standing there in front of you, right? Like, you're
Yeah.
like, hey, this guy seems so it worked. Bonafide, your whole tips worked for me.
Which was what again?
I was able to come off as a normal person.
What tips did you use? I didn't say become
just-
a normal person. I told
just
you
ask
other
a lot of
things.
questions
Oh, okay.
and be interested in other, which I kind of know. It's just I have a lot of social anxiety when it comes to
Yeah,
those
we could
situations.
talk about that later.
Yeah, I don't know if Josh realized this, but whenever I left his group, I started walking around in circles around the place to meet people.
Mm-hmm.
But I wasn't meeting anybody, so I just kept circling around about 10, 15 times till when I finally had to stop circling. It was too much.
So
But-
for the people out there in YouTube land or, wherever they listen to this podcast from, who is Josh for them? Exactly who is he so they can connect with him better? And
Well-
what does he do? What does he provide?
So Josh, you have savingsangel.com, right?
Yeah.
Can you
Yes.
tell
Go ahead.
Can you tell us a little bit more about Savings Angel and what you do for the community?
Yeah. So about 8 years ago, I was, like a lot of people, especially if you've had a job and that job starts to get unstable and your income's getting unstable, you start to get pretty conservative about what's going on financially in your life. And that's exactly what happened with my wife and I. I was working in online marketing, and the company that I was contracting with, it just wasn't looking that good. So we started looking at how we were spending our money. And long and short of it is, we started listening to Dave Ramsey, just started reading everything we could on the subject of spending our money more wisely. And we did a spending plan. You kind of look at where you're spending your money, and got to that line item for groceries. And it's just weird. I mean, I'd never really cared about this before in the past, but for some reason, we were putting together our budget, our spending plan, that line item for groceries, we were spending like $700 a month. And if you were to ask me, well, what did you buy with that $700? I just like shrug my shoulders and go, I don't have a clue. I have no idea it's just like Walmart, and whatever other stores. And I felt like I had nothing to show for that. And so I knew that there were couponers and there were people out there that were able to save a lot of money, and they were able to somehow cut their grocery bill in half. And so I just grabbed like every book I could on the subject, and I just started studying what they were all saying. And you absolutely can cut your grocery bill in half. And the way you do that, unless you want to grow all your own food, and that's a way of doing that, the best way for the majority of Americans to cut your grocery bill in half is you have to use coupons, but not just by themselves. You have to time the usage of those coupons so you're only using them when you're buying a product that's also a really, really great sale. And if you could do both of them at the same time, like for example, Cheerios, box of Cheerios at my local Publix here, they were buy one, get one free. So it was a $4 box of Cheerios. It was now $2 a piece. Well, at that same time, if you went on this, and it wasn't even Cheerios' website, it was like some partner's website, but you were able to print out $2 coupons for Cheerios. Well, if you apply $2 coupons to a $2 sale, well, guess how much you're paying for your Cheerios?
Do you pay tax on that?
It depends on your state. In my state, I don't.
No, I've been to a grocery store where I've been behind the coupon person, and sometimes they'll have a whole stack of coupons, and it seems like they'll fill up their grocery carts with the same item, like 10 of them, and it seems like they're random items they'll probably never use. So I'm suspecting people are like hoarding stuff just because they can get it cheap.
Okay, so this is a really, really good point. And this gets to, if folks listening to us right now remember nothing else about, like what that angel guy was talking about, please remember these two principles, okay? We need to get you to a point where you are no longer buying what you need. So long as you are doing need-based shopping, in other words, you have a shopping list, guess we're out of this, guess we're out of that, and you run to the store, you have no negotiating power. So what this means is that you will pay whatever they decide to sell it to you for. I'd much rather get you in a position where you have everything you need, and the way that you do this, let me get to that in just a second. I want you to have a full pantry so that when you're putting your shopping list together, you look around, you look in the refrigerator, you look in the freezer, you look in the pantry, and you're like, well, we have everything we need. So then you're in a position where when you go shopping, you're only buying the absolute best deals. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so I guess
that's how you do it. That's how you cut your grocery bill in half. But in order to do that, what you just mentioned right there, now, there's the knuckleheads on TV on extreme couponing that, we put them on TV because they're so stupid. I mean, not stupid, but they're just ridiculous. And so we laugh at them. So that would obviously be truly extreme. But, for example, with the Cheerios, well, if your local grocery store is giving away cereal, how much do you think that you could comfortably use in a 6-month time? Well, that should be how many of those that you would buy. I mean, you want to comfortably use that. And then, you know what? I mean, if you have someone else if you want to buy extra, and if you're getting them for free and you want to hook up your friends, because they got kids that eat Cheerios too, why not?
Cheerios, bro. I'm going to hook you up some Cheerios, bro.
I mean, whatever. I mean, it's to me, it's not about the particular product, but it's about the fact that that is money that I used to have that we can't stop eating, right? You have to keep eating. So we just have to be very realistic about this line item in your budget. Now, I mean, just about anybody I could sit down with, and if they're spending $700 a month, you know, they're married, they've got a kid or two, you know, I can very easily within 30 to 60 days time, get them to a point where they're now spending about $300 to $400 a month. And to get a $300 to $400 a month pay raise, I don't think there's anybody listening to us right now that would say, nah, I'm not interested in that. So this is like really one of the easiest ways I know to give yourself that big of a pay raise.
So let me ask you a question here. I'll talk to Dizzle. Dizzle, how much do you spend per month?
When he said $300 to $400,
Like he's talking about the
on
cutting,
total grocery.
like,
okay.
He's talking about like
I
if
don't think
your
I even spend
bill is
$400 a month
7 to 8,
on food.
and he gets you down to 3 or 4, then he's basically cut it in half.
Yeah, I don't think I'm spending $400 a month.
You don't think
Okay.
you're spending 400?
You think I am?
What are you eating?
Yes, you are.
Am I?
Yes,
okay.
you are.
Well, Jesus,
Yeah.
that's scary then. That's a lot
so
of money. I
I'll
need to
tell you
put
this
I'll tell you what,
right
do you
now.
want-
I
do you
see
want a lot
this
of Cheerios or
nearly
not?
100% of the time.
Free ones.
Guys, especially younger guys, I did. If you were to ask me how much money I was spending, I just wouldn't believe you. I'd say, I don't know, maybe $400 or $500, but it wasn't until I really added up all those receipts. That's why I was shocked. And that's why I was like, oh man, we got to do something about this. Most people have no clue how much money they're spending on food. And guys, this isn't even talking about eating out. I mean, eating out is outrageously
That's what's
expensive if you're
killing
not
me.
doing that right.
The eating out is what's killing me. So
If
do
it's
you?
killing you, then it must be killing CMFK.
Yeah, CMFK. It's killing him physically and his pocketbook.
He's just a corpse right here producing for us.
I know.
When I asked him what his favorite place to eat was, tell us real quick. Tell the viewers your favorite fast food place. Like during the day, you're at work, didn't pack your lunch.
Oh yeah, Golden Chick.
Golden Chick.
Wow.
Josh, do you have any coupons for Golden Chick by any chance?
Golden Chick. So here's what I want you to do. There's a lot of different apps that you can use, and there are a lot of different sites that you can get good restaurant coupons. My favorite right now is the Retail Me Not app. The reason why is they have all the chains in there. So there's always like all the chain coupons, but they just added like 20,000 different independent restaurants in there too. Right now, that's my favorite app for getting restaurant coupons.
Retail
But I'll
Me
tell you,
Not.
I do not pay full price at the restaurant ever. The day of paying full price at the restaurant is long over. It's too easy now to get huge deals. I mean, seriously, like 50% off or buy one, get one deals are just commonplace now.
Do-
It's like those
are your
Groupons.
steaks like? Do they have any hair in them, or are they a different color than what like someone that would pay normal price for a steak?
Yeah,
would be?
what do you tip when you go in there and you're eating a 50% off meal? Is this something you would tip on the full price? Or?
Always. Yeah, it's the person serving you that they're still doing the same amount of work. Oh yeah, don't be that person.
So there's
right?
there's no coupon for half off the tip.
No, don't do
Okay,
that.
gee.
I mean, because they tell you to do that. Like, have you ever bought like a Groupon or Daily Deal, Living Social, any of that stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. I mean, so it's like if there's still like a service provider involved in that, someone in the service industry. I mean, I live in Orlando. I mean, so like 90% of our workforce is like service industry people. So yeah, I you don't go cheap on those people. Just like for example, me, I'm you don't do that with like artists and musicians as well. It's not fair to them. People say, well, you can come play at my wedding and it'll be great exposure. You don't do that to performers. You're paying for
Dizzle might do
the years and years of sacrifice that they put into that. So
Yeah.
that's one area of my life that I don't believe in being cheap.
Yeah.
And I don't believe in being cheap, guys. I actually hate that word. I believe in getting the hookup wherever possible.
Right. Yeah, I'm firmly a believer for tips in restaurants, but there's not
No.
a day that goes by where I get angered over why I'm having to tip somebody for what. Like today, I was at a place to eat, and it's a line, like a cafeteria style line,
Right.
and they want
Where's
you
this place? Well, you can't say where you
Mr.
were.
Natural.
Okay,
Nobody
so it's
else
like
is gonna
So it's
know.
like a good
it's like
place.
a local, yeah. But it's like cafeteria line. You go with your tray. They put it on there, and you go and eat. And they wanted a tip. I didn't tip.
No, what did they? What do you mean when they said they wanted a tip?
Well, they got a little tip jar everywhere I go nowadays.
No. Okay. All right. So you don't, anytime that happens, you are never obligated to tip. I've seen like ridiculous places that they're asking for tips, like yogurt places, like all those places. Why do you need a tip?
That's another place.
It's self-serve. I went and got the yogurt. I went and put the stupid toppings on, and now you want me to give you a tip? What? Because you weighed my yogurt?
Well, that's one of the main places I've had to cut down my yogurt consumption. It's a local yogurt place, and the lady looks so miserable giving me the yogurt, and then she's got that tip jar, and she glances down at it, and the next thing you know, everything going through my head is like, she probably makes minimum wage. I feel bad for her. Should I tip her? I'm doing good in life. Should I tip? So all that crap's going through my head now. Next thing you know, I'm pulling out like $5. Like I feel like it's almost the tipping thing is getting to the point of where at some places I feel like it's almost
pulling
begging.
out $5 and
It's
your
almost
yogurt's melting.
panhandling.
Even
Yeah.
worse.
Yeah.
When he was saying that you should tip the full amount, I totally think you would tip the price with the coupon.
You think so?
I know you would. You would.
Yeah, I know that Dizzle is you don't like this word, but he is a cheap guy.
Yeah, I'm loving your coupon site, because of that. But the only thing that it doesn't fit in with me, this whole couponing, is that I don't eat a lot of what I consider like pre-made packaged food.
Right.
And I've noticed that there's a complete lack of coupons if you're just buying fruits and vegetables. And I guess it's not a brand, so
There
there's
are no coupons for those kind of things.
Well,
Yeah.
actually,
So
there's
I-
It's always for like kudos and like
right.
no, there's
like M&Ms and
All right.
like a sardine.
Well, no, there is an app. My sister showed me that you take a picture of your shopping receipt.
Yep.
And if you buy like eggs or milk, they'll give you reimbursement in some way.
Who?
Yeah.
What?
I can't remember the name of that app.
Yeah. So it's
government?
either that's going to be there's 3 that do that right now. So there's Saving Star is one, and Saving Star actually every single week has coupons for produce items, and it's 20% off. Like this week, it's oranges.
But
so
where
you
is
can buy
this?
all the oranges you want, and it's 20% off.
Where though? Where? What oranges? Sorry.
Like,
Yeah,
where
you have
can
to go
use
to
them?
download. You go to savingstar.com. And you'll see all the stores that participate in that. But it's Walmart now. I mean, it's a lot of stores. So you can get 20% like this week. And every single week, it's a different produce item. But I do want to talk about produce in just a second. But there's also Checkout 51 and Ibotta. Now, at Savings Angel, we have a free coupon database. So we just index all that stuff. So like you don't have to remember because at any given time, guys, there's over 5,000 different coupons that you can choose from. And so we database all that stuff. So you could just kind of jump in, do a quick search, and you can find basically a coupon for anything you want. Like organic food, for example. I just did a search and there's over 110 different organic items that there are coupons for. So it's getting there. Now, on the produce section, one thing that you have to understand is fresh produce. No, coupons are very rare for that. But if you don't mind frozen produce, canned, coupons are plentiful. Like I can get bags of Green Giant frozen veggies. I've gotten them as little as a nickel a piece. Wow. So is that healthy? Yeah, it's absolutely. As a matter of fact, I would argue that in some cases, frozen vegetables are actually more healthy for you than produce that was picked, on the other side of the globe. It was picked, 2 months before it was fully ripe, and they spray it with all these gases, ship it across the world, and then it ends up in your grocery store. It's better to get the frozen thing that's picked when it's fully ripe. It's flash frozen, and then it's kept in a deep freeze state until you're ready to consume it.
Josh, if I'm hanging out with you, like, are you constantly pulling out coupons all the time, like using them, or like when you're hanging out with friends and stuff? Is this like, or do you kind of hide it? Is this something like you don't mind? Because this is the reason I ask that is whenever I get a coupon, it's almost like I don't know. Are you guys like? I'm almost embarrassed to use it.
I'm not.
I'll try to hide it unless it's one of those coupons at the grocery store. That's by the item. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, right. The easy stuff.
Right.
And so the easy stuff, I think, is not as embarrassing. Like, would you be embarrassed to use a Groupon?
No,
Like-
I'm less embarrassed with that because I'm like, okay, it's right there.
Yeah.
I'll wait till like if there's a cute girl or something, I'll let till she walks out because I don't want her seeing me plucking coupons
That's
off of there.
interesting. But why?
I just
fucking self-conscious.
I don't know.
Wait. Hold on. Don't you have a wife?
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, but you still
what do
wanna
you care?
impress
What does your
random
wife think
women.
about these?
She knows
pretty
I
ladies
try to
and-
impress random women. That's like
Okay.
every guy.
It's like, take the coupon. No,
every
not
guy
yet.
does that in their head.
Well,
I
yeah.
admit it. So that's
I
why I have a
definitely
good
say
relationship.
don't use a coupon at a restaurant if you're going out on a date.
Not a first date. Absolutely not. No,
Oh, okay.
I would agree with you on that. I mean, because at that point you're making impressions, and it's better if you just not introduce that at that point. But eventually you're going to have the talk.
Yeah, but what?
And at that, that talk is when you're going to say, "Look, babe, I mean, you got to know that I'm just smart with my money."
Yeah.
And part of that is, it's easier than ever for me to, I know where all the hookups are. So, you don't have to call it like being cheap or being frugal or whatever. Just like, dude, I'm not stupid with my money. And you know what? If you and I can go to a better restaurant and we can go to the movies and we could do this, this, and this, then let's do that instead. It's like going on vacation. Would you rather have like all the upgrades possible, or would you rather just get the cheapest of everything, because you didn't know how to work the system? So I teach, and in my podcast, it's all about like knowing how to work the system ethically, and how to just find all the hookups. So it's more important to have the knowledge and where all these resources are than to actually, always have like coupons, falling out of your pocket and stuff.
And now this podcast you're talking about, is it 90 Days to Abundance? That's the name for it?
Yeah.
And is that like if our listeners want to go and find out how to save money, is that podcast going to be constantly giving them tips on coupons or?
Yeah, so primarily it's all about abundance. And abundance means that you're moving ahead in life. And when you're moving ahead and moving forward in life, you have more options, you have more choices. And because a lot of people who are listening to this program might be just starting off with this mindset, it's very important that I give them early wins. And so early wins would be, holy cow, I listened to that guy. He told me that they had like some buy one, get one free deal at, some restaurant. I listened to the guy, I went in, I got the deal. That's cool. And so I need to do that because that builds their belief. And so if I can help them get a series of early wins and I say, look, you do this, this movie theater is doing free movies with your kids, whatever hookup, whatever thing is out there, I want to pass that along. And so I want to, my goal is to be that friend, like that friend that you always want to have. It's like, man, that guy always knows like where all the stuff is. Like he always knows like where all these deals are and like all this free stuff that's going on. So that's what I try and be. Now, in addition to that, I share a lot of tips and strategies on, like, for example, like how you can get hotels and stay, always get the upgrade and stay at hotels half price. I get upgraded about 75% of the time, and I get upgraded at hotels, airlines, car rentals nearly 100% of the time, because there's just like some, there's some things that you need to do. Just if you do these things, then you'll almost always get the upgrade. So that's the kind of stuff you'll get when you listen to my podcast. And I also I think abundance is not just money, but it's also like, abundance in your relationships and also abundance in health too. So like, I love having guests who can help me with those areas. My background is actually a family therapist. And so, if I can help people, enjoy more love in their relationships and less fighting and that kind of stuff, I consider that living more abundantly.
You know what? When you talked about the upgrade kind of thing, I immediately thought to Dizzle at a wedding in where you bought an upgrade or something happened, right? You went to some wedding somewhere that was out of the U.S.
Right.
and you got an upgrade and you're like, oh, I got the upgrade. And then they planted you in this like hotel that was next to the other hotel. Right?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
You bought this upgrade.
Yeah. The upgrades
This is
never
the
work out. I went
funniest
to like an
upgrade.
all-you-can kind of consume, like a resort in Mexico. You know what I mean? You can drink all you want, eat all you
All
want.
inclusive.
Inclusive.
Yep.
Those are not the places you want to go to because they make it sound like a good deal. But then you're stuck in this hotel and you're eating all this kind of garbagey food because it's free. So you're sitting there and then you realize like all I got to do is eat this place. So you're constantly eating for 7 days now until you can't eat anymore. But they upgraded me to like this 5-star kind of hotel kind of deal.
That was close to it, right?
No, it was part of the resort. There was like 7 or 8 hotels on there.
Okay.
But they take you over there, and nobody's having fun over there. Everybody's just sitting on their little private area in their private pool, and you get to watch all the fun going down at the little
At the other original place?
Yeah, the places that aren't as expensive that are part of this place. So that's where all the party's going on. You're sitting there with like 5 other people eating pineapple all day.
The best part of that story was watching his Facebook page. Like he was talking about all the deals he was getting. He was bragging about it.
Yeah.
And then it got progressively worse.
So that's definitely not the upgrade you would want to get, right? Where it puts you in a place where now there's nobody there because no one wanted to pay the upgrade.
That's your own discretion, I think, right there.
But Josh, how do you get these upgrades? Is this something that our listeners are going to have to go to your podcast, or can you share, like, let's say, for example, how to get an airplane or a hotel upgrade?
He already told us.
Yeah, so
Cheerios. He already told us how to do
hotels are
Cheerios.
my favorite, and hotels are very, very easy to do. So now I would never book directly with a hotel unless all of my other methods have failed me, or like I have to travel with a pad, or there's some kind of weird circumstances. But so here's my process for getting the absolute best deal at hotels. Now, first off, if you know somebody who works in a hotel chain, you can get friends and family discounts, and those can be really, really, really good. So I've got an aunt who works with Marriott, and I've got a really good friend that works with Marriott. And sometimes those rates, especially if you book them far out in advance, can be really, really great. And so you should take advantage of those if you have access to that. And if you don't have a friend who works with a hotel chain, get one. Just ask on social media, just ask on Facebook. It's like,
At
hey,
what
does anybody
level will
work
this
in
work?
a hotel? Because they can absolutely hook you up. And so let's say that doesn't work out. Then, and this can sometimes be much better, is that what you do is you use Hotwire and you use Priceline, right? Because that's where I've seen, and I've talked with a lot of people in the industry. I talked to a guy that was specifically responsible for negotiating rates with Hotwire and Priceline, and he said, yeah, I mean, that's absolutely that, and the daily deals are the two places you will get the rock bottom lowest price that you will ever find at our hotel chain. So now the problem with Hotwire and Priceline is you don't have a clue where you're staying, right? They just kind of give you some general ideas of what you're going to buy, and then you just have to hope that it's a decent place. And so there's a really good website that I use called Better Bidding. And you'll want to search on that website, and you can identify which hotel you're going to be staying at. It's not foolproof, but generally you can narrow it down to 1 or 2 hotels that you can pretty much be sure that you're going to get. And so you could check them out. So you want to check them out then on like TripAdvisor or wherever, just kind of read the reviews. I mean, I always do that, right? And so, I mean, all of this should be also kind of sharing with you that I'm a big believer in spending a little bit of time in research mode before I spend my money, no matter what it is. I mean, even if it's groceries, I believe in investing a half hour's worth of time, because if I'll do that, I can end up saving or making $40 to $60 an hour for that time. So it's worth it for me. But getting back to the hotel thing, that's the first step. You identify the hotel, then you also know what to bid. For example, if you're using Priceline, you don't want to overbid. And then there are some ways that you can work out Priceline where you can increase your bid in very small increments. So if you don't get the 5-star hotel for $34, you can just do a little manipulation with the map or what you're asking for, and you can bid in $2 or $3 increments. You can do that as well. But I generally just end up going with Hotwire because it seems to end up working very well for me. Now, this is the first step. Okay, you end up getting the hotel at Hotwire. It's a fine hotel. Okay, it's a great rate. But then there's a couple things you want to do. First off is you want to be on every single hotel's like frequent persons, you stay there frequently, right? You want to get on whatever list that is. They're gold members, it's always free. And then what you do, once you get your hotel on Hotwire, then you call up the hotel and you said, I just booked, it was through Hotwire, and I just want to make sure that my member number is attached to my reservation. Okay. And at that same point, at that same time during that call, you're going to also ask them, you say, well, look, I don't know what your availability is right now or your occupancy. Use this term, occupancy rate. And it kind of sounds like a somewhat of an insider term. And when you throw that around, they're like, oh, this must be someone. Yeah, this guy's cool. He's worked in hospitality or whatever. And you say, look, I don't know what your occupancy rate is at that time, but if you have any available upgrades, we're going to be celebrating. And then you have to give them a reason. And it doesn't matter what the reason is. It's just something. Like, for example, like one time I said, my kids we're celebrating a great report card or something like that. And I totally got a hookup. And so now oftentimes on the phone is not when you get the upgrade. Usually what happens, and why, by the way, why you want to be on the hotel's member club or whatever it is because generally you can get little upgrades. Like it might even be something like free Wi-Fi or free newspaper or some express check-in or something like that. But you want all of those things that are available to you. And at the same time, when you call the hotel, you also want to make sure you understand like transportation, any other like local information so that you're getting the best deal on everything. You want the insider information wherever you go. Okay. When you get to the hotel, this is usually where the upgrade most often works. And that is you share the same thing again. You just, you smile, you're friendly. When you're nice with people and you you let them know how important it is that you're staying here and you want to have a great time. If you're staying with your wife or whatever, and, you want to show her a good time and, sorry, not like that. So you just want to have a good experience.
Calm down, Josh.
He's talking about the real upgrade. What's the spinning bed upgrade?
So, but you want to, that's where you're real nice with the check-in person. You're like, and you say these words, you're like, look, I don't know what your occupancy rate is, or even if I don't know if you have the power to do it or any whatever, but if you have any available upgrades, that would be totally cool. And so if you're cool about it, and then you also use those words like, oh, I don't know if you have the power to do that, or if that's like you have they give you access to do that, because it kind of then puts them on this perspective like, oh, wait a minute. Let me show you power. They give me every kind of power. And so it's like they almost kind of want to prove it to you at that point. And so, like I said, if it's possible to get an upgrade, I almost always get it. Like the only time I don't get it is if they say, well, all the rooms are suites, or they say, yeah, everything is absolutely sold out. Otherwise I would. And the only place that it's a little bit different is in Vegas. Vegas, you have to do the $20 trick. And the $20, do you know about the $20 trick?
I'm sure it involves slipping somebody $20, right?
That's exactly it. So you hold up a $20 bill and you put it between your driver's license and your credit card, and you say, I don't know if you have any available upgrades.
So
and
are they nice enough to give you back the 20 if they can't hook you up, or do they just
Yes, they will. They will. I've had it happen both ways. I stayed at the MGM Grand, and oh yeah, man, we got the King Daddy enchilada. It was awesome. And but I've stayed in some crazy. Like one time, I got a daily deal, and it was like $60. To stay at the Gaylord Palms Resort. And I did everything that I just shared with you, and we ended up staying in a $400 suite.
Nice. Well,
yeah, so
Josh,
it works.
I'm going to give you a tip for couponing. You're probably not going to be able to share this with your audience, but here's what I do. Basically, any service I have that's reoccurring, like a cell phone bill or like a cable bill, you just call in, like Sirius Satellite Radio. Here's another one. You call in and you cancel.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, they're offering you the world. Like I got like 6 months of free internet one time at the higher speed. I've got 3 months of Sirius Radio free, and then they knock it down to like $5. So you just
$5. Yep, the $5 deal.
Yeah. So you just call in and complain like you're quitting.
Oh yeah. And don't be afraid to truly walk away from the table, because sometimes like they say, oh man, it's just all these people are just trying to get the free upgrades or whatever. They're trying to get the discount, but feel free to, go through with it, because I've had a lot of those, I think it was Sirius is one where, you get it. If you're paying full price for Sirius, you're just a knucklehead. Nobody pays full price for Sirius, $12.95 a month, plus the internet stuff. That's an easy one. But your utilities, your TV is a no-brainer too, because the worst case scenario is you go with another provider. Yeah, it's a little bit of a hassle for a week or whatever, but you start over fresh with a new company if you have choices. But a lot of times, we just canceled our Dish Network and we switched to Comcast. And we got a great deal with Comcast. And Dish Network, sure enough, they tried to keep me on the phone, but their offer wasn't good enough. And then it was within a week, I was getting these offers in the mail, and it was brand new customer offers. But, by then I was like, sorry, guys, too late. So the worst case scenario is that just drop your if we're talking cable TV, if you're still using cable TV, drop it, go cordless for, cut your cord for a while, see if you can deal with it, especially during summer months or whatever. That's the perfect time to cut your cable bill. And then just watch all the offers come in, and you can pick and choose. You're in control.
Well, Josh, if people want more information on how to save money, how to get coupons, they can check you out on your podcast, which is 90 Days to Abundance. And then you also have a website, savingsangel.com. Where they can go. And is there a membership area also to this?
We have a free coupon database. I've got an Introduction to Abundance e-course, which is 5 very powerful videos that will help you to make some real lasting changes in your life. Stuff that's really going to pay you in a very, very big way. So yeah, we have free coupon database. And we're every single day we're updating our blog with the 5 best deals that you need that you should be buying at Walmart, or the 5 best deals at Target or Walgreens, CVS, wherever you're shopping on a regular basis. And if you really, if you're really serious about this, we have a lot of people that are like, look, I'm too busy to bother checking website every day. Look, here's what I need. I need organic food. I need gluten-free food. I need diapers, whatever it is. And all I want to know is you just let me know whenever you find a really good deal, 50% off, 60%. Well, you tell us whatever your savings is, tell us where you shop, and then we'll search around the clock. And when we find a match, we instantly let you know when that is. We give you a direct link to the coupon. We just say, all you have to do is print out this coupon, take it into the store, and you're going to get your diapers, that normally you were paying $12 a pack, because diapers, and if you have a baby, man, you can spend a lot of money in diapers. And all of a sudden, instead of $12 for a jumbo pack, you're paying $3.50. Man, for a new parent, that's serious savings. And so that's $5 a week, but we guarantee that you'll save at least $100 a month with that. So that's kind of a no-brainer.
And you can find Josh also on Savings Angel on Twitter. And Josh also has a new website you started, which is Millions in Free Media, right?
Yeah. I launched my company, and this was really, this is something that's kind of weighed on my heart, because, man, there are a lot of really great business owners out there, entrepreneurs, and they're just they're not moving forward, right? Or they're just getting started, and they're like, how do I get audiences? I was able to make a full-time income with Savings Angel pretty quickly because I really know how to work the media pretty well. This week I've had 3 different media spots already. That's what I do. And when you can get yourself in a position where you are a trusted expert of your local newspapers, your TV stations, radio stations, larger magazines, and larger websites, they come to you because you're a trusted industry source. You never have to worry about customers again. You are basically set for life when you can get to that level.
And you can teach people how to do that, right?
Oh, go ahead.
You can teach people how to do that, right?
I do, yeah. And so it's much more than just knowing how to do some basic public relations. I want to make sure that I work with you so you know exactly what to say, how to perform, because if you show up on TV and you're just all right, but not that great, you won't be asked back. And what I want to make sure, it's kind of like, you're showing up to America's Got Talent and you've got one shot. And that's a lot of TV producers. They watch their first-time guests. And if their first-time guests aren't great, they not only can you not be invited back, but they'll blacklist you. And they'll say, we had that guy on, he choked. He was awesome off camera, but all of a sudden we shined 50 lights in his face and put 3 cameras on him and the guy choked. I want to make sure that that doesn't happen to you. So I know exactly what to do to work with you to make sure that you won't have that problem, because I want you to shine when that happens. I help you pitch. I also get you connected with, I've got a database of over 1,000 different media contacts throughout the country. So basically, it's everything you need so that you can become a media superstar.
And then if our listeners want to sign up for one of your free web conferences, they can go to themensview.com/free media, and it'll link you directly to Josh's site. And you hold conferences, right? Web conferences?
Yeah, so I'm doing a webinar. It's absolutely free. I absolutely believe in the giving economy. The more value that I can give, then the more people will say, wow, that was just really, really awesome. And it may not be then, but it might be sometime in the future. You say, Josh, I'd really like a little bit more help with that. And then I can do that for you. But the free webinar, man, at least get on that, because I can absolutely show you how you can get started and get ready so that you can get your product, your business, your brand on TV. And it's really cool when you get a big media spot. I've made thousands of dollars in a single day because of a good media segment.
All right, Josh. Well, I'm going to send Dr. David Wilson over there to your next webinar because he really needs to get on this. I keep telling him he needs to get on TV stations as the psychologist.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, if he's teaching confidence to guys and how they can connect with ladies, he is you are sitting next to a future millionaire. People who do well in that industry are gangsta rich.
I'm taking a 30% cut. All right, Josh. Thanks for calling in, man. Appreciate it. Check
Of
out
course he
Josh
does.
at savingsangel.com. Thanks,
Thanks,
Josh.
guys.
All right, take care.
Thank you.
So, Dr. David, man, tell us what's going on with you.
Yeah, it's been a while. I've just
Where have you been? I mean, I don't see you anymore. What's going on? I feel like this guy's avoiding me, too, because...
I think he's been avoiding a haircut too, man. Like,
no, I've grown it out. Changes, but
I'll call
I'm
this
right
guy,
about that then.
and I'll text him, and then I'll get a reply like 2 days later. I'm like, this guy checked his phone 2 days ago.
I think I know
Probably
what it is, though.
1,000
I know what
times.
it is because when you talk to Dizzle, it's never really quickly, right?
it's true.
No, I look for cues. If I'm here, I look for cues so much where if I even think I hear a cue, I'm like, all right, man, I'll let you go. You sound busy. Got to go.
You won't do that.
I do that.
You do not do
Some
that.
people don't know how to
believe
give
that. I
cues.
believe that.
Some
I
people
don't
just
believe
get
it.
so awkward and they act like they're not listening or they drone off. I'm like, just give me the cue. Say you got to go. Because that's what phone conversations are now, like on the phone. People just want to get off and go back to texting.
No, I always know like he calls at the same time all the time because he's in the car.
No, but what I do with him is I'll call him and I won't get an answer. I'll call him and then like 4 days later I'll get a call back, or maybe 3 weeks later I'll get a call back. Hey, I'm returning your call.
He's a doctor, man.
Yeah, but come on, he's
a
not
doctor.
He's got time to.
He's
But you know how I know
PhD,
he's a
bro.
good friend?
PH fucking.
Because-
He gives you physicals.
No, he'll
for
actually
free.
call me back, and then like we have an actual hour-long conversation or 30 minutes or whatever. People don't call people on the phone anymore.
Yeah, they do.
You can see him
Do
in
you talk to
person.
your friends on the phone?
I do. I'll give him a call like every week or 2 weeks. Or
But it's
3.
not like back.
No
in
one
the
ever.
days.
No one ever. Like you give him a call. Hey, what's up? Let's go get a beer. You don't ever like talk to him like for 30 minutes.
No,
on the
no,
phone.
I do. These are friends who live in other states or something.
Oh,
Yeah,
that makes sense.
just call them
Yeah,
to
it's
catch up.
Well,
what, do you
I
guys,
think
what do you guys talk about?
Just life. Like how
Sushi?
many times I jerk off. No, yeah, nothing that deep. No.
Did you notice Woo's bleeding?
Am I
Really?
fucking bleeding right now?
yeah, it's on his neck.
Why are you bleeding?
I don't know. I scratched it open.
Do you have Ebola?
No, it was
Is
a.
that your first open
It was a
wound?
goddamn scab. Come
So
on.
Dr. Wilson, like, what is going on with you that you've been completely just disappeared?
Well, work, has been, a never-ending situation, and then going through that crazy divorce situation.
So you got a divorce, huh?
yeah,
How
not by
do-
my choice though.
How does he
I've
feel
known
about it?
this.
What's that?
How does he feel about it?
Who?
I'm just kidding. You didn't get the joke.
Dr. Wilson was living at my house for like 2 months.
I remember that.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
It was bad. It was bad.
Like your divorce was the kind where, you thought your marriage was going great, right?
Yeah. It hit me out of the blue, and I didn't understand it, and it was like expedited divorce.
So you didn't see the cues.
No. I had a sense of it, but I didn't know the extent of what was happening.
Yeah, it was crazy. Like
Can you say what was
Dr.
happening
Wilson
just
was
a
my
little bit?
neighbor for a little bit, and I get home, and next thing he's like, "Hey man, I'm about to be homeless. All my stuff's in a suitcase. I don't know where to go."
All I got is these Cheerios.
So he stayed with me and my wife and my daughter for a couple months, which was cool. I enjoyed it. I had a good time.
See, that would have been a time to like really get into couponing.
Yeah. No, I wanted. So context for this question, I wanted to ask him. You know, I would change my own brakes, but I don't change my own oil on my car because of the time.
I think
and,
you're doing the right thing. Yeah.
You know,
Brakes,
And
yeah.
I want to ask.
I don't
him,
do either.
How long does this take? I mean, because like if you have to go on his website and research, I mean,
Right.
if it's going to take 3 hours, I'm like, screw it. I'll just go buy the box of Cheerios.
No, honestly, like the kind of stuff that I do and Dizzle does, like no matter what he buys, if you do a decent amount of research, and it could be 15 minutes, it could be 20 to find that correct price, you can substantially make a lot of money in those 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah, I've been to Josh's
Substantially
website
do
and his
something else,
Twitter.
too.
Like he'll be tweeting out deals all the time. So like for example, yesterday he tweeted out $20 off any meal at Olive Garden. So if you got him on Twitter,
Olive Garden?
yeah.
Yeah.
Did you hear Olive Garden's latest thing? They gave out 500 passes for $100. For 1 year, you get to eat unlimited pasta as much as you want.
Fucking
Man,
disgusting.
It
that's like-
overloaded
yeah, but
their
the only
website.
problem is it's still Olive Garden.
It's still
Olive Garden's
Olive
not
Garden
bad.
eating
It's-
pasta every day.
Dude, I
is
remember last time I was
awesome.
at Olive Garden, it was with the previous company I was working, like previous company, the one that Dizzle works for. And I remember sitting at a table, like eating a breadstick that was stale. And then I looked over to my left where the wait station was. You know what a wait station is? It's where they have the teas and everything and the sugar. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
All the supplies.
Right.
And I remember looking at it and just seeing
Speedy
filth on the
stuff.
ground and it smelled like throw up. And I was like, this is why everyone tells me not to go to Olive Garden. Like, it was gross.
Shut
Was
up,
it-
pussy. Just eat the food.
But I guess
Dude,
if
I
free
love
is
Olive Garden.
if pasta is free, do you
Do you notice
What?
CMFK always butts in and says stuff and we
I
just like
love
ignore
it,
him?
dude.
you love but you like golden chick.
CMFK,
All you can
golden
eat, all
shit.
you can eat like salad.
where's this?
The
the salad's
Olive
not
Garden?
good.
It's
Olive
not all you
Garden
can.
salad is the bomb.
Dude.
Whatever they put, but they only put
man,
one of those little banana
How much is that
peppers.
though?
It's
Who cares?
free.
Who cares? It's
But
free.
you have to
Good
buy something to
salad.
get it. You
Right,
don't just
you just
walk
buy
right in
a
and just have some
meal.
croutons and you walk out.
Unlimited super breadsticks is what, $5.99? That's one of the things that
It still
they were
costs you
pushing
money,
that.
is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Generally.
if you keep eating
Nasty,
that bread
bro.
at some
Dude, Olive
point,
Garden's so gross, bro.
It's okay.
if
I
you
don't know.
keep eating
It's
free
definitely on
bread
the lower end.
and salad at some point, the
He-
tables turn in your favor
yeah, yeah, yeah.
as far as the cost of it.
And your turds are green. No, like seriously,
There we
like
go.
he was hinting on something real quick. We'll get back to David Wilson here in a second. But he was talking about that one show, Extreme Couponers. You probably never saw it because you don't have
Yeah,
cable.
I've seen
Have you seen it?
it.
Dude, these people like buy
Stay-at-home
$3,300 worth of groceries and they end up paying like $40. Okay, so
Sometimes-
I actually
some of
went
them
and
get
But-
paid.
here's the
Some
thing.
$4.
It's like 40 Big Reds.
right,
It's like
all garbage.
40 macaroni and cheese by Kraft's, like the deluxe editions. It's all this stuff that I would never touch.
Yeah.
It's an impressive feat, and their entire garage is like, you know, what do you call it when doomsday preppers? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like that. Oh, we have the guy right here who would eat all this stuff.
What percentage of extreme couponers do you think are overweight?
Like honestly, the show. That's exactly what I started thinking. I was like, it's like 90, bro.
Yeah, it's got to be.
There was one dude that was halfway in shape,
Yeah.
And how
but he
many of
still
them-
had like man boobs, and I was like, okay, like
Yeah.
that doesn't count.
How many of them are hoarders too?
Well, that's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
right.
It becomes such an addiction that they pride themselves on their stash, is what they call
Yeah,
the
yeah,
show.
yeah.
And their
It's a
stash for some
stash?
people is like 20 grand, 30 grand, 40 grand worth of stuff.
Yeah.
Are they selling this stuff or they're just keeping
Well,
it
sure,
around?
some
what
of
I've
them are.
heard about, what I've seen as a trend on that show is that people that do it tend to be the people with really large families. Not large as in
Oh,
physical
man.
size, but like
Fat asses.
fat 5 kids. Some are going to college. They come back for the weekend. Oh, Dad, I need some toilet paper. They go into the garage and just start. It's like a
Yeah.
store.
Well, from
I
working.
guess that's nice. Right?
Yeah. Well, I've worked at a grocery store, so like I've noticed these
Look at this guy.
people that are extremely into coupons.
Are they
Oh,
all
really?
kind of big?
They're really rude,
Really?
and they just expect shit. Because that's part of their whole deal is to try. Like, if they can't get a coupon through, they'll call the manager and complain.
Yeah,
But were they
loopholes
big
and
though?
shit.
That was my original
Yeah,
point.
yeah.
Is that the food that the coupon is for,
It's always
is
junk.
never a good food.
It's never anything.
It's not that something that
It's
you
like
or I would never
something-
eat, right?
Yeah,
'Cause I
it's
know you eat
something
really
a health
healthy.
conscious person
They
would
get
need.
toothpaste. They get
Yeah, okay,
all
that's right.
kinds of-
They
That
get
stuff
Head and
will work,
Shoulders and like
right.
some Pantene Pro V and some toothpaste and some Barbasol shave cream, like all the stuff that you would. That's where it's important. But all that other stuff is so nasty. Bro, there was like Tootsie Pops, like
Who
80
the
of them,
fuck
dude. Like
eats
just
Tootsie
we
Pops.
got 80
man?
Tootsie Pops, and they're like
Those
scanning
things
them one
weren't
by
even-
one.
Those things weren't even good as kids. Nobody fucking
But
likes
if
Tootsie
Those
Pops.
ones in
about
your
that.
Halloween candy. You're like,
Yeah, you're just like,
Dude, when I
fuck,
saw
I'm
the
gonna
40
throw this
Big
shit
Reds,
away.
I was like, gosh. Like they could have probably got the Diet Big Red,
but they didn't.
but they didn't.
That's still
Yeah,
shitty,
like-
dude.
Dude,
what I've noticed, like the worse the neighborhood is, if you go like into a convenience store
they're
or
all
a
nice
grocery
neighborhoods.
store in a bad neighborhood,
Yeah.
and you check out like if you try to grab a Coke Zero or a Diet Coke, they're
Yeah.
always expired because nobody in those neighborhoods
Right.
cares about healthy
Well,
food.
CMFK, for example, won't touch anything but
What?
a regular Coke.
what? Yeah,
Yeah,
why
you-
would I
See?
want to drink?
And let me guess, the answer I always
Dude,
hear,
It's,
like I'll see a girl and she's
Give you
like
cancer.
450 pounds, right? And she's with a regular Coke,
it's like
and I'll say, hey, why don't you?
asbestos.
You'll say this?
Yeah, I've said it before. I'm saying, hey, why
a
don't you?
stranger or not a stranger?
Semi-stranger to a stranger or a friend? I don't care.
You know, you have.
I
that-
really don't
Yeah, yeah.
care at this. Well, if somebody's 450 pounds and I'm trying to drop a hint, I'm trying to help them. Okay, if they're getting angry at that, fuck
You're just
them. Who
getting in
cares?
people's
I'm trying
lives,
to.
dude.
So you're trying to help them, they get angry, fuck them all of a
Look,
sudden.
Call them out.
You
Trying
say
to help you out. Fuck you,
say
man.
that, Woo. But if you were going through some kind of obvious like thing that was just ruining your life and you just didn't see it, you'd probably appreciate it.
They probably
If somebody
have
helped you out.
hundreds of people telling
you
them
don't
the
think
same
they
shit
know
all
that,
day.
is what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
But the way I say it is, I'm like, oh, I see you're drinking Coke there. Have you tried the Diet Coke? I like
Okay,
it.
that's like rude as hell, man.
You sound like
what?
some kind of like Coke pusher or something.
No, and they'll go, ooh, I can't stand the taste. And I'm like, you get used to the taste of
Right,
that.
right. I see his point, but I,
I
don't
forced
like your
myself on
approach.
Yeah, I
Diet
don't like
Coke,
it
and
either.
now
that
I,
approach ain't
That's
good,
straight
bro.
up like,
So-
hey, this is my neck. I'm craning in your business now.
That's like you at the gym, like, oh yeah, sweet biceps. Let me help you curl. Oh, I noticed your hair, but that's your original like thing in the first place to go through that, you know?
well, it kind of related, right? The Diet Coke.
Dizzle,
Goddamn
what's your
salesman, man.
motivation for helping him anyways?
Because I think there's too many people on this planet, and too many of them are just consuming resources. Like
Dude, a Big Red is
they
not a
are
resource,
the-
bro.
No, it is a resource.
It's not a resource.
It took a
In
can to
Ohio,
make it.
is.
It holds a can. Somebody had to dig up this can in a cave somewhere in some
But I'm
kind of
talking about
mine.
the bottles like of plastic.
So
ones.
it's a plastic bottle that they used a refinery. They polluted into the. Meanwhile, some 450-pound person grabs it off a shelf, gulps it down in 10 seconds, and throws it in a trash can.
But your point was to fuck him, right? Like fuck him, forget him.
But he's
They're
trying. Well,
gonna
no,
die,
his,
right?
How is
no,
that my
no, his
point
point
at
was
all?
like
This
that's
guy's
why he's
not
trying to
even
help.
listening.
No, that's why he's trying to help him is because he's trying to make more aware people so that no one's consuming as much.
Yeah.
Maybe they're already aware, and
Okay.
shit happens, dude. You get
Actually, I
fat.
think he has a little
Yeah.
bit of empathy here.
That's it.
He
That's-
actually cares about other
Hey.
people.
There we go.
But I, that's a funny thing is you have empathy for 1 second. It's like, well, if they don't care, fuck them.
Yeah, right. Right. That's what threw me off right there.
Because
That
I
threw me
I
off.
get annoyed when I try to help somebody, and because I'm the kind of person, if somebody offers me help, even if they're in my business, as long as it's not like in my bank account or something, but if it's just in my business,
Yeah.
I don't care. I'll listen to
I
advice.
always try to help you out.
Really?
If I think those are
You know
the
who
biggest
doesn't listen?
shitheads
You know
that get
who
annoyed.
does, you know who doesn't listen to our advice?
I'm thinking his name starts with CMFK.
No, it starts with the other one right here.
Thank you.
Dr. Wilson? Oh, shit. Did you
God.
get fucking Metalhead on here?
You listen to our whole rant, bro.
Jesus Christ.
He's-
Metalhead.
he's been
See,
pretty
very
quiet.
important prospect because all that shit that you guys are talking about is full of bullshit, man. You know, like you're over here talking about that Bonafide, you're helping out Dizzle. Yay, Dizzle never helps me out.
I'll tell
because-
you what.
No, we
Metalhead.
try to help you
Doesn't
out.
he give you free shit, dude? He gives you shit. That's helping.
No,
out,
we
right?
do give him shit though, but like
Yeah.
we give him a lot of free advice that can save his life.
Yeah,
Like,
but you
he
know what?
doesn't care.
Metalhead's calling in today for a reason. He actually went out on an adventure to the Numbers
That's
nightclub.
right. That's
Again?
right. I went out and I had
That's
a
it.
good time, even though I was drunk. But I don't care, man. I had a good
Is this
time.
gonna be is this gonna be a 30-minute like
I don't know.
story
It's
that
gonna
could have
be-
been compressed
Every
in 30
metalhead
seconds?
story when he ends up going on is go into numbers, right?
Well, this one's gonna
You
be
love
quick
numbers.
because I sent Money Mike out to spy on him.
oh,
You know Money Mike, the guy that called in,
the hooker dude?
the hooker guy. Yeah. Money Mike actually went out to spy on him.
Good call.
Dizzle, why did you send Money Mike to spy on me?
Because I need to find out really what's going on. Because you go out to these clubs and you come up with these stories.
A club, the one club.
And
numbers.
so he goes to Numbers, right? And it's all like
Is this
techno.
goth night? What night is this?
I guess it's
No,
got.
no. The night was like more like 80s night.
Yeah, you got to.
Huh?
So Metalhead's out there with
would
his
he go out
camera.
there?
Let me play some clips out here because he took some video.
All right, let's see 'em.
and the amount of headache it took me to get this guy to just Dropbox these videos.
Yeah.
I told him, I said, don't bother me. I'm going to bed. And do not text me a 20-minute video. It doesn't
I
work.
was drunk, dude.
So at like 4 in the morning, I get 27 texts
Really?
with 27 videos, which I promptly delete in the morning because I told him, I said, don't waste my time with this pixelated shit that I can't use.
So there's 27 worthless
Dude,
metalhead videos
He
in the cloud
sounds
right
like
now?
a 30-minute video through a text message. It's literally like 4 pixels dancing
No,
around
no,
on
no.
my
You
screen.
want to know what's funny, Bonafide, about this? He tells me, no, Metalhead, don't film it like this. You got to film it like this. Dude, this is my phone, Dizzle. I can do, if I want to film it like this, I'm going to film it like this, okay? If I don't want to film it like this, I don't give a shit.
I keep hearing that, but I guess he doesn't care about a quality show or to be interesting
don't think it
or
does.
anything. But let me play this clip of Metalhead because he was out there in traffic just yelling and screaming. You got to see this.
All right, let's go.
Here from themensview.com, and I am here at Numbers, the club that I'll be going across the street. So I'm about to go in there and have a good time, and I'm gonna get me some numbers. Metalhead out.
Just standing in the street, this guy.
This guy's got like no emotion in that video. He's like, this is metalhead.
Monotone as fuck,
I'm at
man.
numbers.
You're,
I'm going to get numbers at numbers.
why'd you pick a noisy
so
street,
what?
man?
Hey, you know what, Bonafide?
What?
I've seen like your videos. What do you sound like? Bonafide hustler here, man. I just want to tell everybody right now, man. Man,
Yeah,
like,
that's
you know
so
what?
much better, dude.
The thing
Hey,
is,
he's got-
we got
he's
to
got
checked
emotion,
up, man. Kind of.
But Money Mike went over there and he
Sometimes
said,
I can understand you, dude.
Why? Because I actually talk. So
I can't understand what you're saying because you're always talking about
Semi-large
Bonafide
words.
hustler here, man.
Yeah.
If you guys want to get pumped up and everything, man, you just got to do some 50 push-ups and like drink a lot of protein.
but yeah,
Interesting.
this is
Alright.
this. I have some notes. Money Mike sent me an email wrap up here, but basically,
So he actually made it out there.
yeah, Money Mike
saw him.
went there at 11:45. Sees there. There's about. He said it had to have been either tranny night or tranny. He found
So it was
out
not
about this
80s
club.
night.
He said it was
Drag night,
trannies night.
drag
He
night.
thought.
No.
Why
He
is
said there were
Metalhead
about
there?
30 trannies in the club.
80s night, okay? It's where they played all like the 80s techno music.
Yeah, right.
That's what it was.
Okay, here's a
show,
video of
right?
Metalhead in the background. You hear the music. It is just like this.
I'll tell you if it's 80s because I know 80s
You
very
ever seen
well.
that movie, The Crying Game?
Yes.
I know.
All right,
it,
put it.
it sounds like some song out of The Crying Game.
Sounds
Definitely-
like a tranny song.
Yeah, I think it might have been. Here.
Metalhead here from themensview.com. I am inside Numbers, and I'm gonna have me a good time. So wish me luck, people. I'm here to have a good time.
It seems like there's nobody there.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, because I got there like around 9. That's why, because it was kind of dead. So
Why do you go so early, Metalhead? Every
What?
night you're going out at like 9 p.m. That's no one's out yet.
He's trying to get to the girls before they've had any like
Before they even get there.
or drinks or anything because once they get hammered they realize like who's
Isn't
this
that
guy?
usually the opposite though? People
I don't
get a
know,
little
man.
more
I think
friendly
if
after they start
chicks
drinking.
get inebriated, they figure out Metalhead quicker for some reason.
I just had an idea.
What's that?
Why don't I do one of my social skills trainings with Metalhead?
And can we
Please,
videotape it?
please.
does it involve very
Can we-
small, easy to like easy words? Does it involve that?
Easy words?
Like he can't comprehend these like much, well, not even much larger words. Just like
Simpler. He's a
yeah.
simpler man.
I mean, we haven't gotten into what we were going to talk about as far as what I do with that stuff, but I mean, it would take some time. I'd have to coach him first. Yeah, actually, now that I've seen him, yeah, definitely coach him a lot.
well, first thing we need to do is like, can you coach him to shave
I
that
don't need no
thing on
coach,
top
man.
of
I'm
his head?
Metalhead, man. when I go out, dude, I have a good time, man.
So-
I see chicks, man. I talk to them. I try to get their numbers. They don't give me their numbers. I just keep freaking going, man. I don't care.
Yeah, so
pretty
so
cool.
Money
I like
Mike said
that.
he got there, and the first thing he noticed is Metalhead standing there talking to 3 chicks, and then as
Really?
he gets in closer, he notices there are 3 trannies.
Oh,
Oh,
nice.
that's not bad.
So,
okay.
so here's Metalhead at the club when it's completely dead. He's just standing there. There's nobody at the club. He's just
So Metalhead was actually hanging out with Money Mike then.
Well,
Or-
not really, because the thing was just that when I got there,
Pretty dead right now because I just got here early. So, see,
Oh, there's nobody there.
Nobody's there, dude.
It's cool though. It's good music.
completely dead. This club.
it's kind of dead. So later on tonight's gonna pick up.
So he's just there by himself.
So you spent like what 8 hours there then, huh?
I don't know,
Oh
man.
my gosh.
Like I said, when I
full
got
work
there,
day.
I was drinking, and I just brought the camera. I was like, okay, let me see what I can film, and that's it. You
And
know?
if you guys want to see these videos, it's on our YouTube channel. And the show's actually, the whole show's on our YouTube channel because you can actually see Metalhead out here. But here he is thinking he's talking to a hot chick. And he keeps going back and forth, like showing how hot he is.
Oh fuck yeah.
And then you realize at some point in the video it's a tranny. But Metalhead has no clue.
Just having a good time.
It's so creepy.
I was drunk, dude, right there.
Look, you don't want to leave me alone.
Okay, this is so creepy because he's standing next to what he thinks is a woman,
Yeah.
but it's not.
No.
And she's
Alright,
just
let's see.
completely ignoring him, and he's
No,
trying
no,
to
no.
talk to
Let me
her.
just say it like
All right,
this.
no, play it. Just go for it. We
Here,
don't
let
want
me,
to hear that.
Dr. Wilson, watch this. Tell me if he's doing the right thing.
Well, first of all, it's not politically
of all,
correct to
that-
say
That
tranny.
person told
What
me
is it?
Transsexual.
was.
Transsexual.
No, transgendered, I think.
Yeah, transgender.
Trans woman. I think
Which
it's
it was.
trans woman. Is
It's
what
transmission.
transmission? Okay.
Trans-
So he was talking to transmission.
She's poking the fuck out of that phone. Oh my god. Are you in the goddamn Philippines or Thailand right now?
Oh, wow.
Dude, I was drunk, dude.
You're having a hard
Oh,
time
that's a
picking
man.
up.
Yeah, look at that jaw. That jawline is
That was a man.
sculpted.
Okay, Metalhead, in that video, did you even know? Here, hold on real quick. Hey, Metalhead, in that video, did you even know that person, yes or no?
Yes, because she told me. She had told me.
She told you what?
Yeah. She told me that she was a transformer. Okay. but,
Fucking Autobot or Decepticon,
No.
man.
But look, Bonafide, I told her. I said it's a good thing you told me because if you would have set the trap, you would have got your ass whooped.
Wow, Metalhead.
That's
That's,
not
not how
nice.
you fucking talk to people, man.
I don't care, dude.
Don't beat up.
You
Don't
don't
be
care?
beating up
Maybe you should
transmissions,
care.
dude.
Yeah, that's
Come
not
on,
good.
dude.
But,
Would have
but
fucking transformed into a truck and run you over.
Dizzle, did you have a guy on the show a while back who actually hooked up with?
Yeah.
with Metalhead?
No, a tranny. A transmission.
Fucked up.
Yeah. He's
Yeah,
been
and he
twice on the
followed
show.
through with it, even though like afterwards, like
But you see what?
Metalhead, let me ask you this, because let's say you're with a girl, you meet her at the club, you take her home, and now you're having sex with her, and you're about to orgasm, you're about to finish. You're like 4 strokes away. You're sticking it in and out, and you're,
he's
you're
into it.
You're
He's
2
into it,
strokes
look at
away from the best orgasm ever. Like it's feeling so good, and then suddenly the girl turns around and says, "I'm actually a man." Would you finish off with the extra 2 strokes, or would you pull out right away? What would you do?
Man, my answer would have to be, I don't know, man. I would just have to scar myself, dude. I'd just rather just, I don't know, I'll just scar myself. That's all
No,
I
I
can
think
say.
what he's asking
fuck
that
does
doesn't,
that
that doesn't
even
make
mean?
any sense. He's asking you a simple question. Would you finish
Would
or
you do the extra 2 strokes?
No.
So you
No.
pull out.
You're already not. a
You're
virgin
almost
anymore.
done. Might as well enjoy it and then do whatever.
I think I would come even harder, really, to be honest. Just because
Hey,
I'd be so
CMFK,
shocked.
what would you do?
Me, I'd probably go.
No, he's
win-
talking to
right
CMFK.
away.
CMFK, not you, Dizzle.
he's calling yeah.
What would you do if you were almost done?
2
almost
pumps away
coming?
from glory.
fucking a
That would
transsexual.
never happen, but yeah, I mean, if I was already engaged,
You just
our
go for it?
penetration is done. What?
Would you do the extra
I
2
mean, there's no-
pumps?
That's the question.
There's no dick flopping around, right?
Dude.
So there's no. You wouldn't be able to tell the difference.
Huh. This got really odd.
Metalhead here from
You know what I can't get past real quick is the fact that when I keep looking at him in this new haircut, I keep thinking. You ever watch the Muppets or whatever
Yeah,
they're
yeah, yeah.
called?
He looks like Ernie.
No, he doesn't look. Yeah, kind of like Ernie.
Or
He-
whichever
or
has the tall bird.
He looks like
Bert, yes, Bert.
Bert.
Bert,
yes.
Ernie, or these Beaker people. Like you know who?
Oh,
the
yeah,
little scientist
yeah,
people.
Yeah.
He
With
has
the
a
long noses?
Yeah.
Hey, Metalhead,
Or
put on your
Sloth
lab
from
coat.
Goonies. You ever seen
Oh,
Goonies?
yeah.
Sloth has a tiny little hair thing.
Yeah.
Oh, that's Dizzle.
Are you going for the sloth look?
But hey,
He
I had
looks
a
like
good
Sloth.
time.
No,
Okay?
he actually
believe
did
it.
good.
It's Bert, dude.
Further on
that.
into the night, I don't know if he got drunker, but he
Yeah,
would have
I
done
did.
better than I would have done because he's actually talking to chicks.
TheMensView.com. And I got a couple of girls I want to give a shout out to the Men's View. Give a shout out. Men's View. Men's View
Can't
all
see
one,
shit.
number one. Say Metalhead number one. Say Metalhead number one.
There we go. There we go.
Number one. There you go, baby. Metalhead.
Okay.
Yeah. Hey,
pretty
respect, man. Respect. He was the life of the party there. He was
Yeah,
the
for
life
one
of the party
second.
right there.
He then turns
That was
into
well done, dude.
How many numbers did you get that night?
Shit, man. Be honest, I think I only got one number. That's it, dude.
Was it from a transformer or was it from a normal person?
It was from a normal person.
A guy or a girl?
It was a girl.
Yeah.
And describe her real quick for the audience.
She was kind of she was kind of like thick, like she was kind of thick. She was a white girl, long hair. So then, I started talking with her. She had like a weird name. She said her name was Raven. She said that she was like a former
that girl added us on Facebook. And,
Really?
Yeah.
And she left a comment. She said, "Does this guy DJ Wish work for the show? I need to know because he approached me and claimed he worked for this show."
Yeah. Well, then you should get back to her.
Here he is. That's the Raven. That's the girl.
Metalhead number one.
That's her right there.
Bonafide, say Bonafide, stop. Say, hey, Dizzle's a prospect.
All right.
Yeah.
He's like,
These people like some marionettes,
if you could
man.
convince a girl to do something, you've graduated a tiny bit. You've done something, right? To get a girl to do something for you.
I'm seeing Metalhead in a new light
So
right
he's
now.
had.
Here he is booty dancing that Raven chick. And you can check this out on our YouTube.
Hey, full screen that. Full screen that.
Okay, there's Raven.
This music's not very metal.
It's 80s night. It really is 80s.
But yeah, he's meeting this Raven girl. And I don't know if his story's true where you actually got a number for her. Because she's on Facebook asking about him.
No. Look, Dizzle. Let me tell you what happened. I was kind of like just walking around the dance floor, and then she came up to me and she asked me. She says, "Hey, yeah, what's your name?" So what I did was that I walked in there and I was playing the lying game because you know how girls lie. Girls lie about their age, their names. So then I told them straight out. I said, "Yeah, my name's Johnny," and she said, "Oh, okay." And I told her, I said, "What's your name?" She says, "Raven." And I said, "Yeah, I do a radio talk show." And she says, "Really, for real?" She said, "Are you the guy that's on the air all the time on the internet?"
You know what?
said,
I
"Yeah."
think he asked everybody there for a date. And she was probably the only one that said yes. Because here he
only
is just
problem was-
asking the random chicks on
What's
dates.
up, everybody? Metalhead from theMensView.com. These ladies want to give a shout out to the Men's View. Give a shout out to the Men's View. Say H Dizzle sucks. Say Bonafide sucks. Say Metalhead is the king. Would you ladies go out with Metalhead on a date if he asked you out on a date?
Oh, dude.
All right.
Did you see the eyes, dude? You have to go back and look at the eyes
Yeah,
of the
he
chick.
threw that in at the end. And he wasn't even kidding. He's like,
This chick's eyes did the whole spy versus spy thing. You know when they look to the side to side?
watch him too because he asked that question.
Yeah.
Because he heard him say yes 4 times in a row. So he's like, fuck it. I'm going to see if they'll go on a date with me.
Yeah.
And
they
the
caught it.
boyfriend busts in too.
Yeah, I
like,
saw
what
that.
the
They
fuck
were
are you
paying
doing?
attention, man.
Would you ladies go out with Metalhead on a date if he asked you out on a date? That's right. All right. Metalhead rocks.
Oh, Metalhead.
That was fucking great.
That was the
man.
saddest Metalhead rocks ever.
No, that's fucking great.
I was drunk, like I said, Bonafide. I
Dude,
was
that
drunk.
reminds me of that game NBA Jam. If you played it enough, the
Yeah.
actual producer of the
He's
game,
on
he would come
fire.
in real quick and he'd be like, and you like disappear.
Yeah.
That's what that guy just
Hey,
did,
have you
dude.
seen, hey Dizzle, have you
You
seen
want
the
to
whole
see him
punk rock
like
chick?
super awkward with a girl where he just gets shot down? Like, it's super
Metalhead
awkward.
from the mensview.com. I got these two beautiful girls. They want to give a shout out to my show. Give a shout out, ladies. Say Metalhead rules. Say H Dizzle sucks. Say H Dizzle sucks.
Oh, I feel so bad.
Say Bonafide sucks.
They are stuck
Say
up, man.
Metalhead
No,
fucking
fuck
is the
them.
best.
Forget them. Forget them.
Say H Dizzle
Look at how
rules.
awkward she feels.
Like I would say that.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. Fuck you.
No. Look, what happened was Bonafide was just like I was drunk. So the thing was, I was walking around, and when I saw those three girls, I said, "Hey, I'm Metalhead from the Men's View. Like, you know, yeah, because I have a radio talk show. Like, we're like live on iTunes every Thursday night, and I want to see if you can give a shout out."
Here he's asking out more women.
What's up, everybody?
Ouch,
Metalhead
he's-
from the mensview.com. I got
God,
this punk
dude.
rock
You
chick,
like the guy.
this hardcore chick. She wants to give a shout out to the Men's View. Give a shout out. Yeah. Say who sucks. Say Bonafide sucks. Say H Dizzle sucks. Say Metalhead rules. Yeah, you would go out with Metalhead, and if he asks you out on a date, be honest. Yeah. Rock on.
I think he was like right outside the shitter, dude. You see that person that came out that probably just deuced it up real quick?
That chick right there, out of all,
Oh no!
I bet you were into
How
that.
many times
I
have
bet
you
were
whacked off
all
to
up
these
in
clips?
that chick, man, was like,
Why do you find the one that you want to marry or go out with right outside
Mwah.
of a shitter, dude?
Why?
She was right outside of a
Why
bathroom,
not?
dude.
She's down to earth.
Did you hang out by the shitter all night to get footage?
He gets. No, this is what he does, dude. He gets girls that are about like turtle heading. You know what that means?
Yeah.
And they're like, "Ugh, I just want to get out of here. They're like,
Very
yeah, I'll
doggy,
date
dude.
you. That's cool. yeah, they suck. Yeah, I gotta go.
Metalhead, you've beat off to this video, right?
no.
Some of these clips.
Dude,
no?
I've already beaten off 3 times.
Right.
So
Well, Money
worry about it,
Mike
I didn't
got
even see you
bored
beat
towards
off
the
someone.
end.
Really small, really fast.
Yeah.
don't worry about it.
Well, Money Mike got pretty bored with you and he left, right?
Yeah.
Here's
some
Metalhead. Hey,
prostitutes.
and don't cut to this. Cut it because Money Mike doesn't want to be seen on camera. But here's Metalhead and Money Mike.
Metalhead from the mensview.com.
He's harassing
sweaty
Money
Having
Mike.
a good
fuck.
time.
God,
You
he's
got
hammered.
numbers. Yeah.
How shiny his head is.
Shut the fuck up, Money Mike. You ain't fucking shit, man. I'm gonna kick your ass, Money Mike. I'm gonna kick your ass for disrespecting the fucking club, man. You understand? I'm gonna kick your ass, dude. I just kick your fucking ass, man.
Please don't.
Yeah. I'm gonna kick your
That-
fucking ass
that
for
was true.
disrespecting the fucking club, dude.
This is too real. This is too
By the
real,
way, how
man.
many fucking prostitutes have you slept with?
By the way,
Talking about, man.
He probably jacks off. That's what he does.
Money Mike looks like he's just like
I think he
he's
got caught off
actually
guard.
scared
Yeah.
like that he might fight him.
No, for real, Dizzle. I did want to kick his ass.
Yeah. Well, hey, Metalhead, we're gonna let you go, man. Thanks for the update. All right.
No problem.
All right, man. Take care.
Bro.
All right, you guys take care.
Hey, you want to do real quick news before we cut off the show?
Sure, man.
Yeah, let me hear the news,
All right,
man.
Metalhead, you want to sit in on the news?
Yeah, of course.
No,
I'm going to say my opinion.
Bert. His name from now on should be Bert.
Bert?
Until that haircut changes, bro.
First of all,
What color is
Bonafide
Bert's
a
real
mohawk,
hair?
Yeah.
Okay?
Wait, hold on. Bert.
This
not
is
a
mohawk
mohawk.
for-
Mohawks
okay?
are not
Bert,
combed
chill out.
in
Oh,
that
it's
way.
black.
I'm going to change my
Hey, just paint your face yellow. You got the right color hair. Just paint your
telling
face
you, man.
yellow.
Why don't you put like a clown makeup on Bonafide? How about that?
All right, here's the
that
He
makes
news.
has it on
sense.
right now.
A pot smoking burglar falls asleep. There's a guy in Florida, right? And now he's like a social media star because after the sheriff's office arrested him, they took a picture because they bust in on a robbery and the guy's asleep. But he's high. He's got like a little baggie of pot next to him, plus like
Jewelry.
stuff he stole.
Yeah.
And he's just so passed out that the cops are in there. That like they're all raided the place. they're taking pictures of him. He's still passed out. The suspect Dion Davis was found with a bag of stolen jewelry, lying next to him on the bed. Davis reportedly did not even wake up. He's facing a burglary of an unoccupied
Oh,
dwelling.
what an idiot.
You know what's crazy though? He was kind of a decent looking guy.
Yeah.
And I was just thinking back to that one mugshot guy. Remember the real good looking
Oh,
one?
yeah.
Like, what would happen if a kind of horny girl that's not getting laid walks in and that guy's asleep on the bed?
Maybe.
high.
Yeah, maybe.
Because the comments I was reading on that picture were just like, oh my God,
I know.
I'd let him do whatever to me. I don't care what kind of crime.
Right.
So, I mean, because it's almost like you walk into your house and next thing you know,
There's like a hot girl
there's
on the
super
bed.
hot chick naked on your thing, high, like asleep, stealing your shit.
What?
You know, like, you're probably gonna try to proposition her, like, look, I won't call the cops, just hang around.
Well, if they make a run for it, it's like super slow. Like, nah, I'm going. It's like, give back my shit.
Yeah, I mean, what do you guys think? Is that
the question was, do you think the girl will fuck him because he was passed out on her couch?
yeah?
I don't
I honestly
know.
don't know, man. I'd be fucking scared if there was a stranger on my couch.
Yeah.
But
I
his
think
argument is that they're so
They're so
incredibly
hot.
good looking
So
to where
fucking hot that
Right.
you would.
we know Metalhead would probably do
CMFK,
it.
so like you would be scared if a hot chick just walked in there, you passed out, and this chick hasn't got laid in over like about 6 months to a year. You would
very
be
specific
freaking
here.
scared, dude. Are you stupid or something, dude?
Hey, Metalhead,
Hey, don't pick on
can't
CMFK. Yeah,
can't
come
even
on.
hear you, man. He's not around.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. JFK or CMFK, whatever the fuck your name is.
All right, so here's the next news story. There was a man in the Bronx,
Rest
right?
in peace, JFK.
And he decapitated himself. So there's a guy in the Bronx, and it was broad daylight. It was an unidentified 51-year-old man parked his 2005 Honda CRV on the street on Monday, and then how do you guys think he killed himself?
Chainsaw.
No.
What is it?
Ran into the back of a semi.
No.
He
What do you
took a
think?
machete and like just decapitated his head.
No, because you'd be.
Dr.
How the
Wilson.
fuck does that?
Driving with his head out the sunroof.
And then he hit a wall or something?
Yeah.
What about you, CMFK? How do you think he killed himself, this guy?
Can you read it to me again?
So
Can you read it to me?
let me just tell you what
Man,
happened.
never mind.
So he looped a chain around his neck, like a thick, heavy chain.
Yeah.
Walked out of the car, looped the other end around like a light pole,
Oh my god.
got back in the car, and just drove full speed. And it just
Fuck.
ripped his head off.
That's messy.
Oh
man.
my
That's
God.
real messy.
You know what's kind of
creative.
interesting?
That's kind of a cool way to die because
I
it's
mean, it's
instant. Like it
creative.
I
snaps
thought it was
you.
an accident. I didn't know it was
It's
intentional.
dumb.
No, it was intentional.
You want to
Like,
hear
he
something
killed
creepy
himself.
about that? Is that the human consciousness is still alert for about 8 seconds after that happens?
Yeah.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
So
Like,
for
you
8
sit
seconds,
around
you're like,
I think if you kill yourself, though, you're not really fucked because you're
But your
just like,
consciousness,
oh,
like-
thank God. Yeah,
Yeah.
the
still
thoughts that go
shock,
through your
though.
head for those 8 seconds, though,
Like-
got to be crazy.
right?
Yeah.
They say that's like beheading people, like all those kind of things. Like
Yeah.
that the ice are still looking around.
But see, I
like
would rather
weird.
have that for 8 seconds,
Yeah.
knowing like, okay, I'm not feeling really any pain and I'm dead, versus car accident now, and you're sitting there dying for like 5 minutes,
Yeah.
and you know you're dying.
That has
You'll
to be
dead in 5
definitely the
minutes.
most interesting way to commit suicide. That is just bizarre.
Yeah, I've never heard that one before. That's why I had to throw it in on the news.
Wow.
It's art.
You know?
Plain
That's
art.
crazy.
Avant-garde.
But hey, Dr. Wilson, we couldn't really get to you because the show's out of time.
Ah,
but
shit.
I guess it'll be another 6 months.
yeah, in another 6 months, you can call me. We'll get an update.
And his hair will be down to his
Who
shoulders.
cares about Dr. Wilson anyway?
Man, I care about Dr. Wilson.
Yeah.
First of all, who cares about JFK and fucking Dr. Wilson, whoever the fuck your name is anyway?
CMFK.
Before I get off the air, I want to give a shout out to Jason from Psychopathic Records. I hope you get my email because I really want to get the clowns on there.
Oh,
Prospect, I just wanted to let you know I did all those videos to put Men's View on the
Hey,
big.
put me next to Metalhead. Put this next to Metalhead. Do you see it? That's what. If you're on our YouTube channel, you can see Metalhead looks just like Bert.
he
You just
does,
gotta paint
man.
it.
I do not look.
Metalhead, look straight at the camera.
It's a.
Look straight. Hey, put your hand down and look straight at the camera.
And open your eyes real big.
Make that face like
That. You want
open
a
your
picture? I'll give you a
open your
picture.
eyes real big.
Metalhead. Look straight at the camera. Yeah, stick your tongue out like that and open your eyes.
Open
wider.
your eyes as wide as they can go.
Move your hand.
Do it.
Why?
Just do it.
Okay. All right. You know what? He doesn't want to be part of the show. So, yeah. Metalhead. All right, man. Thanks for calling in. We're out of here. Check out Josh Elledge's website at savingsangel.com. And if you want to get some free media, just go to themensview.com/free media, and Josh will teach you all about it. But we're out of here.
Later, Metalhead.
Peace. We're out of here.